I like X-Men comics and some of their cartoons. Don't care about them movies. No, don't much give a hoot. We're marking out this Saturday morning with Zero about X-Men on Markout Mania. We're marking out this Saturday morning with Zero about X-Men on Markout Mania.
Jesus. Good job, Pedro. Good job, buddy. Good job.
Thank you. Hola, amigos, and welcome to the Mark Out Mania.
Yeah, baby.
We would like to welcome everyone to the show and welcome our special guest, our first 3-time offender.
Yes.
ZEERO COOL Mad Titan is in the house.
Zero, what's up, brother?
Sorry, dusty and cobwebs down here. James, your mom says hi.
Ah, that's kind of hot. Already starting with the moms. That's awesome.
That was
awesome.
that was for last week.
Oh, that was for last week. Okay, all right.
Yeah, I was gonna say, James, you started.
I started. I started.
Go ahead.
You started.
I got a few more in the chamber for you, Mr. Sinister.
As do I, buddy. Don't fuck with the champ. All right. All right, cause do me a favor. After the show is done, I just want you to go tell mommy you spoke to daddy. Okay, it's all good.
Oh shit!
No, I'll tell her that once I climb out of this.
Zero, the Mad Titan is in the house, baby.
I mean, got all this asbestos down here. That's where they put it out.
Oh my god!
Oh, okay.
So, how is everyone doing this weekend?
Doing good. Today's all about our favorite mutants, the X-Men. Yeah.
So
actually, Zeus and I watched Shark Night on Sci-Fi. Yeah.
terrible movie, but
it was a fun combination.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It was all right. It sucked, but it's a good time. It sucked.
Before we went on the air, y'all were talking about the theme song. I almost did it to that. I almost did the theme song to that one X-Men cartoon. It wasn't the series. It was just like one episode about the X-Men, X today.
Oh, the pride of the X-Men.
Yeah, almost did it to that, but
if you did it to that, I'd have been disappointed if you didn't get the Magneto's Horrors lyric in there.
Nice. Zero's such a class act. You gotta love him.
It's hordes with a D.
No, it's
whores.
No, it sounds like.
I mean,
oh my god!
I can see Magneto having a few whores. Yeah, definitely. But
he does have the blob on. He does have the blob on his team now.
He has hordes. He has hordes of whores. There you go.
Oh my god!
I had drawn. Speaking of Magneto and chicks, I used to draw on the top of my long boxes, and I drew a Magneto with Rogue, like from that mid 240s run where they went to the Savage Land again.
Oh, I remember that. Wow, that's
they're fighting Zaladane, and I believe that was Jim Lee, part of his run.
That was the second run or his first one, Jim Lee?
I don't remember.
I think that was the second one, wasn't he?
Probably.
I don't know. I don't remember, man. It's been so long. Brutal.
But yeah, that like my first exposure to the X-Men comics, they used to reprint a lot of things, and like I got like a reprint of I think it was 22, and I was like, oh, this is really cool, and but they were really haphazard on continuing things like that. It's like sometimes you'd see 1, 2, or 3 of these, gone, and then there was a nice reprint of the Neil Adams run on the Uncanny, where they brought in Havoc and Polaris and stuff like that. They were fighting the Sentinels again. So that was some of my earliest stuff. What was some of y'all?
Well, I'll tell you mine real quick. I believe it was my cousin had the original giant size X-Men #1. And
Nice.
later on, I brought a reprint of that, by the way, later on. But that's when I saw the new X-Men and the old X-Men, and I was like, oh, this is awesome, And then I started reading the reprints of the old X-Men, where, those old ugly costumes, and Beast was just a regular guy, and,
Yeah.
I was like, who's the guy in the wheelchair? I was like, who are these people, And it was because, I grew up like any kid on Batman, Superman, and the Hulk and Iron Man. And then I'm like, wait a minute, like, who are these guys? So I fell in love with them right away. And then after Giant X-Men 1 hit, I was like, oh, Cyclops is so cool. He got the laser beam coming out his eye. Like, who's the guy with the claws? It was awesome. Then, they had to go rescue the old team and the new team trying to get together. And then you have Wolverine trying to be a whore with Jean Grey. It was awesome, man. I loved it.
This may be the first time I've heard someone say Cyclops was so cool.
Yeah, hey. He's cool. Okay?
I'll get to him. Don't you worry about that.
He's cool. He was cool. I don't know about now.
He was.
Yeah, was cool.
He's always been a bitch. I'm sorry.
My God. Hey, ZEERO, what was your first exposure to this?
2 distinct ones. The first time I ever laid my eyes on an X-Men comic was in the library. And it was I forget the exact title. It's Sunset something. It had Psyche and Jean on it. And I was like, what the hell is this? Like, because I didn't care about reading shit. I was like, but here I am in the library, so what the fuck? And this that looks cool, and it just quickly flipped through it, and like I didn't understand a damn thing about it because apparently I found it years later and I realized, oh, this is just a part of a whole bunch of other comics. So whatever the story was going on didn't make a whole lot of sense. The first actual story that I read was Fall of the Mutants.
That was good stuff. And that was early 200s.
Yeah, that was the first like actual story I started delving into with them.
Nice.
And then it comes, Jim Lee and Chris Claremont and that era.
Well, Claremont had been around.
Yeah. But like the Phoenix stuff is like, I think everyone could be like, that's what grabbed everyone's attention. Like, once you read that story, but unfortunately,
they were on the rise. They were on the rise by then. That book was so on the rise by even before the Phoenix stuff. It was already on the rise.
Yeah. but that is what really kind of like did it. And then
absolutely.
And then Jim Lee's art with in tandem with the cartoon really.
Yeah. I still got that Jim Lee wraparound cover from X-Men 1. That's just an awesome cover, man. That's just great.
Yeah, and then they remade the cover a few years ago, actually.
Oh yeah, they did. I've been so out of the loop with the comics. Yeah.
Pedro, what was your?
I think the first time I was introduced to the X-Men was when they were on that Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends.
Oh, I used to love that show.
And that totally messes you up when you go looking through the comic books trying to figure out where the hell Firestorm's been.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. There's no
Firestar.
Firestar. Yeah, Firestar.
Yeah.
Firestorm is that other DC comic.
Yeah.
Is that other comic land.
Yeah, but Firestar really screws up everything. But they did cover the original X-Men, and then they had the new X-Men, because there was some kind of X-Men reunion, and that Juggernaut crashed the party, and Wolverine got his claws stuck in the wall.
I also remember the Juggernaut Spider-Man, that 2-part story.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what year that was. Do you know what I'm talking about?
If that's
not from the cartoon, it was from the comic books when that lady, I don't remember her name, Madam X or something, was she was in the hospital and the Juggernaut came to get her, and he found she was on life support and he couldn't move her.
Oh, I remember that. That's old school, Pedro.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying I remember that too from being a kid because I was a huge Spider-Man fan. But
Right. I don't remember that. I mean,
and what's funny is that Pedro doesn't like Iceman, so.
Wait, what's wrong with Iceman?
You're a fan of Bobby Drake?
I just always found him kind of boring. I mean,
There's no need for a refrigerator. All your beer would be instantly cold. That's awesome.
So.
He got more attention when Emma Frost took over his body.
Yeah, Emma Frost is awesome, but that's
she's a terrible person though.
Yeah, she is, but still.
Oh, here's a question to go with all this. Are any of you still reading X-Men comics today?
No.
The last 2 things. The last big event I read was Avengers versus X-Men, and the last spin-off, which gave me my now current favorite comic book writer, was Uncanny X-Force, the Rick Remender run. Which was fucking amazing.
I haven't read an X-Men comic in God knows how long. I can tell you that right now. The last actual comic, quote unquote comic I read was William Gibson's Alien 3. Produced screenplay for Alien 3 because they turned it into a comic. But I haven't read any kind of X-Men. Although I must say, my favorite X-Men story, and no, it's not the Phoenix Saga, is it's actually a one-shot.
At least you're not out here trying to be edgy and saying Onslaught.
No. It's a one-shot story. It's a one-shot story because, as a matter of fact, it was a graphic novel. God Loves, Man Kills.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. When they were doing the graphic novels.
Yeah, that was my favorite X-Men story of all time. I love that story. That's just awesome.
ZEERO, you mentioned Onslaught. I think that whole that spanned through various titles, right? All over Marvel, right? It was like a big crossover thing.
Yeah, it crossed over with everything.
I think that was the last X-Men related thing I ever read. Was that
Double Y, Double H in the house? Hola.
I remember the first time I ever laid my eyes on that story. Someone came in with the cover, and it was the gold cover.
Nice.
And I was like, "Holy shit!" Okay, and I thought Onslaught's overall design looked cool.
Did you think that?
Like the story the story sucked, but the design was cool though.
Yeah. Did you think that they put out too many titles at one point? Because you had X-Men, Uncanny X-Men, X-Men Classic, X-Men this, X-Men that. I was like, okay.
And that's why I don't follow like the whole team anymore. I just focus on a character now because it's like it's impossible to keep up like with every story because they go through so many volumes. It's like you have to read X-Men, you have to read X-Men Blue, and then you have to keep going back and forth, and then it's like, no, fuck that.
Yeah.
The last X-Men stuff I read was actually, I mean, it wasn't super recently, but it was the story arc where Cyclops and Havoc's other brother Vulcan took over the Shi'ar Empire with Deathbird.
Okay. Ah, the Shi'ar Empire. Yeah.
Yeah, the thing missing from all the movies.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I don't want to get into the movies, please.
Oh,
Not yet. Not
we're
yet.
gonna
Not
get
yet.
into not yet. Well,
Not
we are.
yet. Not yet. Not yet. Please, because they just absolutely fucking suck. Okay.
Because they've made 2 attempts at the Phoenix Saga, so it needs to be ripped the fuck apart.
Two attempts by the same movie studio. How many times do you need to screw it up? Leave the shit alone. Give it to Disney. Let Marvel do it right. Because Fox absolutely blows. They fucked up Alien. They fucked up the X-Men. Thank God they got Deadpool right. But you know what? Just leave it alone. Just walk away. Just go make another Lethal Weapon movie. Leave us alone. That's it.
The only reason they got Deadpool right is because Ryan Reynolds won't allow them to fuck it up.
Yeah,
Right.
you know, I was like, come on, you know.
And the problem with the X-Men movies is that it's been its own weird universe, you know, since they started it.
No continuity whatsoever. None. Zero. Absolutely zero.
The only good one, and I don't even consider it an X-Men movie, is Logan.
Well, that's an awesome superhero movie onto itself.
Well, technically, it's not even a superhero movie.
No, it's not. Yeah, but it's a great movie.
It's a great movie, is what it is.
Yeah,
Exactly.
It's a great movie. You know, X-Men one was cool. It's because we're all like, oh my god, look, you know, it's Jean-Luc Picard, it's Professor X, perfect. You know, we were all like, perfect. They couldn't pick the perfect guy. And he goes Wolverine. It's like, okay, he's 6'2", but no, who cares? He looked awesome with the claws. That's all we wanted to see. And then it went all downhill from there. You know, X3, The Last Stand was crap. The only thing X2 was good at because how they did Nightcrawler. They didn't even. They just screwed everything up. You know, there was no continuity to the movies.
It sucks that Alan Cumming hated doing the makeup because he was the perfect Nightcrawler.
He was.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
excellent.
He was good. You know, and then they really fucked it up with that Juggernaut piece of shit. Come on, Vinnie Jones, really? Oh, it was horrible.
And why did it look like his armor was made out of foam?
Oh, it was disgusting. I'm
Probably
the
'cause it was made
Juggernaut.
out of foam.
Yeah,
because
right?
when they gave a close up, it looked like he's just wearing a foam costume. Like you picked this up at the local cosplay shop.
Yeah, cosplay shop. Fuck that, man. You better shit at Walgreens. It was brutal. Okay.
But I do have a gripe with the original X-Men. A lot of people say that is what started the Marvel boom. Like it started. People started.
Actually, Blade did.
It's Blade.
did.
Exactly.
It was Blade. Blade did.
And
That's
and
right.
it pisses me off that movie doesn't get the credit it
my
deserves.
But Blade is one of the most awesome movies ever, hands down. All three of them. I like all three. I don't care what anybody says.
The third one.
Fuck the third. Fuck the third.
Yeah.
Third one. Third one's terrible.
Piece of absolute trash.
I don't care. I like it. Okay.
The big thing for me with the third Blade movie is watching because now that I know that Wesley Snipes tried to appear as little as possible in the movie and trying to get all the shots, try to get as many shots to have his stunt double do. So watching the movie from that vein is super fun to watch.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
the fact they killed Whistler, fuck right off.
Well, you know, I'm not saying it's perfect, but hey. Anyway, yeah, it was Blade. But yeah, the X-Men movies were, you know, they you know, I have to say this though. Ian McKellen killed it as Magneto. Okay, he should have played Magneto forever. He's awesome.
Now, my problem with Magneto in his movies is that they made him stupidly overpowered, especially in the third movie. The motherfucker moves the Golden Gate Bridge, San Francisco Bridge.
Yeah.
No problem. Why the fuck didn't he just kill the rest of the X-Men effortlessly?
Well, he's always had that problem. I mean, the Beyonder said in like Secret Wars 2, he was like, Magneto's a quandary because he's got the power to reshape the entire planet, yet he chooses not to. So he's always been really overpowered.
Yeah, or at least just do what you did to Wolverine in the comics and rip his fucking adamantium out again.
That was awesome. That's how you made him feral after that. He was feral after that. That was awesome.
Yep.
That's an awesome storyline. But
we don't get enough
take place on
Wolverine.
Earth 616, right?
What?
What?
When did that storyline play? What universe did that storyline take place? Was it Earth 616 or no?
What, the Pharaoh Wolverine?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was our continuity. Yeah, 616.
Yeah, really? Okay. I was confused for a sec.
You guys.
Ultimate Universe is where Hulk ripped him in half and threw his fucking legs, 3 miles away from him.
Yeah.
Oh, and speaking of overpowered shit, as you bring that up, the fact that Wolverine can, I don't know if it applies to ours, but that Wolverine is able to regenerate from just the smallest bit of blood.
Right.
Smallest.
That's utterly ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, blood doesn't survive long enough to regenerate like that. I
mean, you definitely have to suspend belief.
And the fact he crawled to his legs and then regenerate is like, okay, now we're just taking Wolverine a bit too far.
Oh yeah, that was a terrible. Speaking of Blade, the henchman number 1 dude is also in Shark Night. Frost's number 1 dude.
Oh yeah, that's shit, man, what's his name? He was on Sons of Anarchy too.
Yeah.
Ah, damn it, forgot his name.
I forget his name too. I just
he's on Law and Order SVU a couple times also. Yeah.
I just call him
Donald Logue.
I just call him Charcoal.
The Donald Logue. Yes. Thank you, Zeus. Donald Logue. There you go. He's awesome.
I just call him Charcoal because that's what Blade does to him.
Yeah.
Crispy.
I did like how they did Deacon Frost in the movie, though. He's totally different in the comics. So, it was
Stephen Dorff was awesome, but they wasted the blood god shit. Like,
that's
my
that
was the weakest part of the movie.
Yeah,
it's like you built up this entire blood god thing, and then Blade fucking.
All right, I got a real simple question for everybody. Who's your favorite X-Men?
It was Wolverine for a long time until he got ridiculous.
Until he got ridiculous, yeah.
But I always liked Storm. I think Storm had a great character.
Storm
she was, I mean, she was still, even after she lost her powers, she was still, the leader of the X-Men.
Yeah. Storm is hot.
Oh, that begs me a question. Little quiz. What's the one attribute of Storm that was early on in her comic career, so to speak, that you will never see acknowledged ever again? Let's see if anyone gets that.
That was displayed in the comics?
Yep.
And it was never done in the movie?
Never done in the movie. There's something about her personality or just who she is that you will never see acknowledged probably ever again.
Well, I don't think they're going to acknowledge the fact that she married Black Panther, but I don't think that's what you're talking about.
No, not that one. It's more to her personality, not necessarily.
I have no clue. What?
The fact that she's a nudist.
What?
Okay.
Well, she was comfortable. She was comfortable being nude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
she didn't
don't
care. She didn't care if people saw her naked. It wasn't that she was a nudist.
Yeah,
She put clothes on.
They made her put clothes on. Yeah. But that'll be never acknowledged ever again.
I see what Zero wanted to see in the movies.
Well,
hey, we didn't get to see it in Swordfish though. Well,
Swordfish. Hey, that's good. Come on. Everybody got to see Halle's berries, so it's awesome. Okay, there you go.
Yep, and she got. I forgot how much they had to pay her to actually do that.
Over $1 million.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Yeah, over $1 million.
What was that movie with her? Well, never mind. We won't go and tell that.
Monsters Ball, great movie.
Oh yeah, where the rumor is it's actually like it's legit sex on screen that you're watching.
You gotta ask Billy Bob Thornton. I don't know. I wasn't there, but it looked good on screen. I can tell you that.
Oh my goodness!
Sorry,
I brought it up. It's my fault.
That's a good performance by Heath Ledger. He killed it in that movie too.
Sorry,
Heath Ledger.
It involves Billy Bob Thornton naked. It's not good. Sorry.
He's a good actor.
What
awesome.
James? Who's your favorite X person?
I was a big Wolverine guy for a long time, but I like Cyclops because everybody shitted on him. You know, everybody couldn't stand Cyclops. Oh, Cyclops is a baby. He's a little bitch. You know, he's this and that. But I like Cyclops. I think if he takes his head out of his own, if he took his head out of his own ass, he'd have been great.
Here's where we're gonna go into wars. So let the Cyclops debate start. Go.
No, I just thought, if he took his own head out of his own ass, he'd be a good guy. He'd be a good hero. But he was so confused. He was insecure. He was brutal. I don't know what Jean Grey saw in him. He was a dick. But hey, it happens. I was a big Wolverine guy for a long time. I love Wolverine, and I used to mark out hard on him. And then I was a Professor X guy. I was like, everybody works for me. I'm Professor X. So it was like that. Over the years I changed it, but at heart, it was always Wolverine.
And this is why Emma Frost was acknowledged as a better fit for Cyclops in a relationship.
Well, Emma Frost is a badass.
Yeah, she wouldn't baby Cyclops like Jean would.
Yeah.
But then again, she fucked Namor. So,
we all have to think. If you loved Wolverine, you have to say thank you to John Byrne, because Chris Claremont and Dave Cockrum were going to kill him off.
Yes, you're absolutely right, Zeus. Yeah. Yes,
very early on in the series.
Mm-hmm.
Sometime after they killed.
The whole thing. Well, right there, you go. Good job.
They were like, "Oh, Wolverine's he's just a he's a little asshole," and I don't like him. And John Byrne's like, "Hey, wait a minute here. He's the only Canadian on the team.
Right?
You're not killing him."
And they made him part of Alpha Flight, right? After that.
Well, technically, he started some of those characters, in his college newspaper. But yeah,
right.
Exactly. You can't kill the only Canadian on the team. Because look, we're just like the X-Men now. I'm the only Canadian on this team.
Oh my God! Really, Zero? Oh, Canada.
But as for mine, she isn't a constant main team member, but Psylocke.
Psylocke is okay. She's cool. She's cool.
As Ninja Psylocke, she was very cool and interesting. As the Excalibur character, her original character, not as much.
Right.
She has a very, I'm being generous, very fucked up history.
Right.
Trying to if someone were to be like, oh yeah, tell me about Psylocke's history, I'd be like, okay, well, she was a blonde, white British woman. Then eventually got kidnapped, had her eyes ripped out, replaced them with cybernetic implants so she could spy on the X-Men through cameras or some shit.
Yeah, by Mojo.
By Mojo,
that's right.
yeah.
That's right.
Oh
Yep.
man,
That's right. Good job, Zeus. Yep.
Then body swap with Quanin. Went through all that shit. Then
They never touched on Mojo or anything in the movies. That's sad, you know?
No, that's great because it's one less thing they fucked up.
True.
I think we'll eventually see Mojo now that the MCU is doing like timelines and multiverse shit, or they will be doing it.
Yeah.
So I think eventually an X-Men story will end up there, but who knows when?
Well, that would be something you could start with a long shot. Long shot.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Because that's where all that stuff came from. Is the crazy, eclectic, incredibly detailed mind of Art Adams.
Yeah, Art Adams, awesome, bro.
Yeah.
And it'd be fun to see on screen like Mojo obsessed with like trying to make game shows out of the X-Men and stuff. That's why I love the cartoon take on it.
The best X-Men cartoon villain was Arcade. He was awesome.
We saw Psyche and Storm doing Miami Vice and shit.
Who's your favorite X-Men, Pedro?
Yeah.
Pedro, who's your favorite X-Men?
One thing. Psylocke did get her original body back recently. I just read up on that.
Okay.
Well, first I want to say real fast, YYH says her favorite is Gambit.
Gambit, double Y, double H. You're killing me, but it's okay. He's cool.
Hey, Helico would be an awesome Gambit.
Who?
And Helico, yeah.
One thing I remember about Gambit is that Rogue left him in the Arctic. I was like, what a bitch.
Oh, my God. As for... Oh, what?
No, them.
Oh, no. I was just going to say... favorite X-Men, like everyone else, it was Wolverine until he was until you just didn't want to see anything Wolverine related anymore.
Yeah, he was everywhere. He was an Avenger. He was this. He was that. Defender. He was, he was part of the U.S. Space Shuttle program. Next, I mean, he was everywhere. It was brutal.
Oh, but I will say this about Wolverine though. If you guys have never read the Wolverine and the X-Men comics, though. You should seek them up. They're like of recent times. Those are wholly enjoyable.
Well, I do like the Old Man Logan stories. The Old Man Logan storyline was great.
Like it's a much more lighthearted because Wolverine's interacting with like Dupe and these very young mutants.
Before I forget, real quick. A big shout out to Bean and Zeus for their amazing artwork.
All he did was cut and paste.
It's good stuff, brother. It's good stuff to me, man. I looked at it, looked kind of hot, so there it was. So I
searched out PNGs of X-Men art already cut out. I didn't get to anything in my drawing.
Okay.
Hey, you put Psylocke on there, so but that wins me over. So thumbs up.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, because it had that '90s look to it. I was like, oh, that's awesome. There you go. It's old school.
Yeah,
and some of those were from the games too, namely the Wolverine one.
Yeah.
There was that, and I think the Cyclops one was as well. But there's I liked a whole lot of the X-Men. That was my problem.
I used to mark up for Colossus. Old school Colossus.
Oh man, Colossus. And I to this day I still hate Jim Shooter for fucking with Colossus during the Secret War and making him fall in love with that girl that Johnny Storm just kind of fucked and walked away from, and then he comes back to Earth and he's like, "Oh, I don't love you anymore, Kitty Pryde." He's like, What you asshole? It's like,
yep.
It's like, I mean, I feel like he did. He just did shit that was just so stupid.
Actually, I think Jim Shooter was the real enemy of the X-Men. I think he was.
He was. Well, the Beyonder is Jim Shooter.
Yeah.
Like he wishes, like when they would draw him, and he'd describe, how he wanted the Beyonder drawn as when he would take a human form. That was how he wished he looked. He wished he was, buff and had fucking, curly black hair and chiseled, chiseled great looks and everything, and could do all the dumbass shit he wanted to. It's like you literally are a pencil and an eraser in the animated world of comic books, you asshole.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that
Jim Shooter didn't have a lot of friends. He didn't have a lot of friends in Marvel because they were kicking his ass. Because I know Byrne didn't like him. I know Layton didn't like him. There was a few people that didn't like him at all.
Sarno didn't like him.
Oh yeah. That's right. Yeah.
I remember the first Secret Wars, and then when you finally see the version of Beyonder y'all are talking about, you're like, that's the Beyonder,
Mm-hmm.
right? Yeah, and it's so underwhelming. But that's, like I said, it's Jim Shooter.
Yeah,
that's his idealized version of himself. Is that, and the whole character is him. It's hey, I can do whatever.
He's omnipotent. Exactly, he's omnipotent. Yeah. But I thought
that's what I hate.
I thought after Jim Lee took over, it really got really good and interesting again. It got really good.
Zero, what were you saying?
I was just saying that's what I hate about some comic book artists. They use characters as avatars for themselves. Like I know Bendis did it a few times, and then there was a Black Panther run. I forget the artist's name, but everyone hated him because he was like it was during the time when Black Panther was an asshole. He was like, I have the cure for cancer, but the world doesn't get it and shit.
Yeah. Well, there are ways of making your avatars good, like the way Byrne did it in the Fantastic Four run. With the Trial of Galactus.
He was just straight putting himself in it.
Yeah, but that's a good way to do it. I mean, like how big is Shooter's ego? I mean, it's huge.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, Kirby put him and Stan in some of it. They were at the wedding of Reed Richards and Sue Storm.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
They couldn't get in. They couldn't get in, but
they couldn't get in. They got blocked. They were held behind the velvet rope.
That's right.
So let me ask you guys real quick. Has any of you seen X-Men Dark Phoenix?
No.
Good.
It's gotten panned so bad. I don't want to see it.
Yeah, I have no desire.
I could literally watch it for free, but it's not even worth my time on that. So
it's just not good.
And Pedro's been in comic book movie overload since Superman Returns.
Yeah.
But if there's one positive about it that I have heard is that it's actually better than Last Stand. Not much better. But
that's not hard to do, Zero. That's not hard to do.
That's what I said. It's not much better, but it's better. So that's the only positive.
That's like whoever the next president is, it's going to be better. That's not hard to do.
But
no politics.
Sorry.
No fucking politics, motherfuckers.
My bad. My bad. Excuse-moi.
What pisses me off about that is that every time they've done it, they skip over. They go, it's just the Dark Phoenix. No, motherfucker. You're skipping over a giant chunk of why she becomes the Dark Phoenix.
Nobody gets the story right.
I said the same thing. I'm like, you're cramming 4 years of fucking X-Men into damn, or like 40 issues, which because they didn't go monthly until Byrne took over.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's roughly 4 or 5 years worth of shit. You're cramming into 2 hours. Way to go. That's fucking stupid.
And they don't even include any of the people that are heavily involved. Where's the fucking Shi'ar?
Yeah,
once again, see, because we don't have the idea that that Alex is there. That he's Cyclops' brother, and
No Star Jammers and any of that.
Yeah, that's right.
No.
Yeah, the Starjammers. Yeah. He
No,
totally
no
just
M-
left out a whole
No
chunk.
goddamn M-Cron Crystal. The fuck.
Yeah. Everything's gone.
Yeah, I mean,
Everything's just gone.
you're talking. See, that's the thing is like to even have a chance on telling a good story. X-Men Dark Phoenix should have been a three movie arc.
It should have been a Netflix series.
Exactly.
X-Men Dark Phoenix. The series.
That's the problem with
You could have touched
everything
on
is based on
everything.
everything is based on a long period of time. You know, it is hard to do in a movie.
Yeah.
And it's literally why Jean and Cyclops come together, because that's when
but then you're gonna touch on the whole thing with Madeline Pryor.
That's when he finally opens up to her, and the relationship actually finally becomes something.
Then you get Mr. Sinister involved. That's me. You know.
Oh, Madeline Pryor, that fucking
What was that? What was that storyline with her and Mr. Sinister? That big multi-issue arc. What was that called? I can't remember. Inferno or?
Yeah, that was.
I think
Inferno.
Inferno. Yep. Good job. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there was a lot of, twisted evil.
I will say, speaking of, I'm glad Fox didn't do Mr. Sinister. Thank.
They teased it. They teased it.
They teased it, but
they did tease it.
But they didn't get to it, though. They didn't get to it.
Yeah,
they did tease it.
And I'm thankful for that.
Mm-hmm.
Because now Disney can and Marvel Studios can actually do him justice.
Yeah, but okay. Here's my beef right now. I think all of us are tired of seeing Fox just totally fuck up the Phoenix saga. That I don't think nobody wants to see even Marvel touch it now. I don't want to see anybody even go near it. I don't want to see nobody go near it now.
They're not going to touch it for at least a decade once the X-Men debut in the MCU.
Yeah.
I give it a decade before they even think about trying it again.
Yeah.
Well, once again, my idea is that what you have to do is you have to kind of do a rewind, fast forward, and then you do giant size X-Men in present day.
Yes, good job, Zeus. Yeah.
And it's like that group of characters is everything that this generation loves. They are multiracial. They are multinational. They are all different kind of personalities. There's, they translate so well to this generation that it's foolish not to think that wouldn't work today.
That's a good point, Zeus. Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
And all you got to do is just like modernize it like you did Blade. You just, because I mean, it's just, I don't know, it's just a no-brainer.
I'm just waiting for the MCU, bro. I'm just waiting for the MCU Blade to drop. I'm just waiting for the announcement. I'm just waiting for it.
I think they're building to it because everyone's seen Endgame already, right? I assume everyone's already seen it.
Except for Pedro.
Pedro hasn't.
You can spoil whatever.
I don't think Pedro's seen Infinity War yet.
No, I haven't. No.
Superman Returns.
Superman Returns. Superman Returns.
I don't know if it's a spoiler, but they did tease Namor. So
yeah. They did tease Namor. Yeah.
So
I mean, I know lots of spoilers already. So
it might be eventually going towards like Marvel Knights, maybe.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that would be fun. With you could have Ghost Rider and who else was in that? Yeah, Ghost Rider, Blade.
I think all the more like horror side characters are
Mobius.
Yeah, Mobius. Yeah, Sony's doing that with Jared Leto right now.
Nice.
Hey, YYH has been talking about the cartoons. Y'all want to get into the cartoons and stop talking about the horrible movies?
No double Y, double H. I am so happy Channing Tatum is not Gambit.
Yep, time to talk about Superman Returns.
Yeah.
I thought the cartoons was great. All the iterations of the cartoons, even the ones in the 90s, were the best ones in my opinion. You know.
Yeah, the animated series one, of course.
Yeah.
Although
X-Men, the animated series.
although some people will say the animation doesn't hold up anymore. I think it does, but
It doesn't. It was generic animation back then, but it's the
and
stories that were
Yeah.
really good. I
Yeah.
mean, they touched on Magneto. They touched on Genosha. They had the whole storyline with Sunfire. They really delved into it, you know.
yeah,
Whereas,
they took the
you know,
comics and did them justice in the cartoon format.
right. Exactly. Nail on the head.
And I
You know?
always love Apocalypse's voice. Rest in peace to his voice actor, but I loved
Yeah.
Apocalypse's voice in that cartoon.
And you had the series in the early 2000s. It was okay. It was kind of cool.
Was that Evolution?
Yeah, X-Men Evolution.
I was so pissed at Evolution.
It wasn't bad.
Not that it was bad. It's because the way they ended it. They tease you with
bad.
the future, and you get to see Jean becoming the Phoenix. You see the grown-up X-Men, like new team members. You see X-23 and Rogue. Rogue is flying now, so she has her. So if she came in contact with Captain Marvel, and all that, and we're like, you're ending it here? Fuck right off. You let us see this, and then you're ending the series. I'm like, fucking hell.
Yeah, they definitely killed
And then
it.
came Wolverine and the X-Men. One season.
Wolverine and the X-Men was, in my opinion, was
I loved it, like,
yeah.
because of all, apart from the animated series, I thought they did the most justice to the Phoenix saga.
I gotta go back and rewatch some of that.
Yeah, and you get to see Emma Frost taking on the Phoenix, and then she fucking shatters into like billions of pieces. It's fucking awesome.
I have to go back and rewatch some of that. I have to go back and watch some of that. Wolverine and the X-Men, yeah. I remember that. It was all right. There hasn't been any newer cartoons with X-Men, have they? No, right?
I've never seen the X-Men anime.
I have the Wolverine.
That didn't last
Actually,
too long from what I remember, but I remember watching like the first 2-3 episodes, I think.
I have the entire Wolverine on DVD. I got Wolverine anime, and then I got the Blade anime. So they're pretty good. In the Wolverine anime, they touch on the X-Men a lot. So
honestly, did not even know about these X-Men anime. So this is the first.
There's an X-Men anime. There's a Wolverine anime.
And then there's
a Blade anime. And
there's the original X-Men
and
anime,
Iron Man anime.
Like from way back, with the "Cry to the Moon" song.
What?
You can find the intros on YouTube, but finding episodes, I don't even know if they're they're even available to be found anywhere. I've only ever found the intros. But I really wish to watch them though.
Who do you think the X-Men's greatest villain were?
Villains or villain?
Yeah, either or. Like who's their greatest nemesis?
Oh man.
Oh shit.
In the early days, it was Magneto.
Hodge had him on the ropes really hard a couple of times.
Did,
for a guy who wasn't as supremely powerful as as some of them.
Yeah, like Apocalypse.
Yeah, but Apocalypse is more like a universal villain than he is.
X-Men villain. Yeah.
Than a specific X-Men villain. Yeah.
How about the Sentinels?
Yeah, Sentinels were really very problematic.
That is, but there's issue with the Sentinels. Like the Sentinels created by the government, or the Mark II that was created during the Phoenix.
Well, both of them. Either one. Because the Sentinels are Sentinels. You know.
Well, and then don't forget the Super Sentinel Nimrod.
Yep.
Oh,
Right,
yeah.
right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And they had to just basically make him disappear because it's like, oh crap, he's too powerful. They literally couldn't stop him. You know, they beat him into submission ish, and then it's like he he was gone, but it's like, yeah, I'll be back still. It's
Okay.
Like, oh crap, yeah.
All right, guys, I got one for you. Who was your least favorite X-Men?
Least favorite main team X-Men, or like, are we including spin-off teams?
Well, let's do main team first.
Oh, main team.
Yeah, because it was too easy with the spin-offs. You could say like a billion people, but yeah. Who's your least favorite X-Men?
I gotta go with Cyclops. I'm sorry. Like, just fuck the Boy Scout.
There's only one Boy Scout, and he wears an S on his chest. Okay.
I was an actual Boy Scout, so kiss my ass.
There you go. There you go. Zeus is roasting marshmallows. All right. Did you get your patch? Okay. No.
Well, he was a New Mutant technically first.
Cool.
Cypher, I didn't care for Cypher.
Cypher, really? Yeah.
I mean, he was okay when he teamed with Warlock a little bit there, but
yeah, I liked Warlock. He was cool.
Yeah. How many people remember when Rogue was, when she was kind of losing her mind after she absorbed Carol Danvers, and she showed up at the X Mansion, and Colossus opened the door and just punched her right in the face as hard as he could.
I remember that, yeah.
Punched her like 400 yards through the dirt. I'm not here to fight because Professor X. You see these 4 Russian knuckles.
You know who I never liked in the whole Mutants X-Men universe was Cable. I never cared for Cable.
He was okay. He was all right.
He was very 90s.
Yeah, exactly.
Very Liefeld.
He was very Rob Liefeld. Exactly.
Yeah,
very Liefeld. Yeah, I was just about to say that.
I was not a Liefeld fan. This is for sure. So.
Why? Don't you like mouths? Don't you like mouths with a million teeth?
Who now? Say it again, Zeus.
You don't like people with a mouth with a million teeth in it?
No.
Yeah.
Rob's like, yeah. How many teeth are in a mouth? A million? Okay, fine. I'll draw a million teeth.
Didn't like Liefeld. A lot of people didn't like him.
I'm sorry if your teeth aren't the amount of pouches on this suit, I don't want it.
Yeah, like 900 pouches on the suits. Everybody had army fatigues, jumpsuits,
Oh yeah.
And pouches. Pouches are nothing.
Pouches and parachute pants. Yeah.
If he has 300 teeth, I need at least 350 pouches. Got to even it out.
And shoulder pads. And shoulder pads. And shoulder pads.
Need a numerical balance.
And shoulder pads.
And your feet look like a garden trowel.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. Yeah. There you go. Nobody liked that. I didn't think Liefeld was bad. He was tolerable. He was okay. He was all right.
He was awful.
He came up with some great characters, though, After people took the characters away from him, yeah,
See, Pedro is a Forge fan.
Forge.
I don't think so, but
he's kind of an asshole too. I mean,
he is.
I mean,
he is.
One of the characters I liked later on, from the later '80s was the Rachel Summers.
Oh yeah,
she wasn't bad. Yeah,
she had a cool design.
Yeah, it was very punk rock with the spikes and everything,
Bean in the chat, Forge is God.
Bean is in the chat. Bean, thank you again for the awesome art. James brought it up earlier. Great job. Thank you so much.
Being good stuff, man. That was awesome artwork, my friend. Good job. Forge is God. Forge blows, by the way. But yeah, good job.
But Bean, Pedro has a little complaint about your art though. You made it
I
look like
did?
somebody.
Oh no.
You're Jerry Garcia, right?
That was private.
You said it on the air.
I
yeah.
did.
Yeah.
Oh man. See, I'm getting old. I'm getting old, all y'all. I'm getting old.
All of us look good. I don't care what. All of us look great in that cover. We all look great.
Bean, all I said was that I looked like Jerry Garcia. But it was awesome.
Maybe you should shave more often.
Yes, I should. Another shout out to Bean real fast. Bean turned me on to the most awesome manga recently. It is Chainsaw Man. If you have not read Chainsaw Man,
Never heard of Chainsaw Man.
oh shit, you gotta read Chainsaw Man. It is insane. It is incredible.
Hey, Bean, I'm on your side. He looks just like Jerry Garcia. He's awesome. All you gotta do is get Pedro a guitar in the comic book. That's his mutant power. Boom.
I am a Grateful Dead fan, so yeah.
There you go.
Another here's something else from from the years. It's like from at some point the artist Barry Windsor Smith, he went from
he killed it on Weapon X. He killed it on Weapon X.
Well, even before that, but it's like his style at some point transformed from that Conan, Buscema style to this incredibly organic, beautifully detailed, style. And then, we saw that in the Life Death issue and the Life Death 2, and then again in that, I think it was X-Men 205 where, you had Wolverine on the cover with all those, tubes sticking in him and everything.
Yeah.
That awesome issue.
Yeah,
it's like Barry Windsor Smith is no joke.
Yeah, he was fantastic. It's just that it's crazy because you have to imagine, he never did a lot of stuff regularly after that. After he changed his style, but because I'm 99% sure when I say this, but he was his own anchor, and it's just. I can't imagine anybody else looking at his art.
All you gotta do is go back and look at the limited series Weapon X. He killed it. He inked it and he did the pencils. I think he did both, Zeus. So yeah, he absolutely blew me away, man. His artwork was fantastic in those issues. Amazing.
And he did that Machine Man series too.
Oh, he did? Yeah,
that's cool. That Machine Man limited series.
Yeah.
So that was great. But who are some of y'all's favorite X-Men artists?
Hey, well, real quick, a shout out to Sherry Daver in the chat room.
What's up? Welcome
to the Markout Mania.
Hey, Sherry, how you doing, Dad?
I hope you like X-Men, X-Women, X-People, the X-Man.
Gotta be politically correct.
Well, there's all kinds of
in the house. Dab is in the house. All right. I'm a big Jim Lee guy. I thought Jim Lee absolutely killed it. His covers ruled. Although I like Barry Windsor Smith too, but I can never go wrong with Jim Lee doing X-Men. Never.
Yeah. It's basically Jim Lee for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
When you think of the X-Men, it's Jim Lee's art and team. Like.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
It depends. I think
depending on your age.
Yeah.
It depends on how old you are. I think.
Yeah.
For me, it's definitely. I'm always gonna think like the Cockrum and Byrne and stuff before I'm gonna think Jim Lee.
Yeah, like you said, it depends. Depends on your age.
I like Byrne too. I do. I like a lot of Byrne stuff, but I prefer Byrne on Fantastic Four than I do X-Men. That's just me. Because he killed it on Fantastic Four. Because he made me want to buy FF every month.
Although I do have an issue with Jim Lee's art, just slightly, with how he drew women.
There is
They-
no
they-
issue. There is no issue with Jim Lee's art.
No, with
Zero,
how he
no
with how
issue.
he drew with how he drew women. I'm sorry, like they had no waistline. It was just legs and boobs.
Well,
and
that was the whole image crew. All the image guys, they had the waists are elongated
Yeah.
and there's no hips and
And
they're
they're
all those guys because
like-
they're all hanging out. They're all hanging out drawing together.
if you try to
You know?
if you tried to mimic the poses women do in comic books, I mean, your body would be in so much pain.
you're not. You should. The only way you can do those poses is if you remove your spine.
Brutal. I never had a problem with his work. You know, everybody has their own style, and yes, Bean, he does make everybody look alike, but you could say that for everybody. You know, I mean, you look at Bob Layton, he drew Iron Man amazing, but everybody looked like Tony Stark. So it was, you know, everybody has their style. And again, I'm a huge Lee guy. I'm a huge Byrne guy. Of course, you know, we all know who the king is. That's Kirby. He's the king.
Yeah.
But other than that, you know, that's, you know, I'll go with Jim Lee doing Wolverine any day of the week.
Mm.
And you know,
And he draws a badass Batman, by the way.
oh yeah, I mean, there's nothing that he doesn't do well and make look 3-dimensional. But you know, another interesting fact, I don't know if you guys remembered, but you know, the X-Men actually reprinted themselves in Uncanny X-Men. They're leading up to the new X-Men because they were getting close to canceling the book. So
Really?
it's like because like the last it's probably the last 20 issues of X-Men before Giant Size was all reprints of earlier issues, going back through the and actually that's exactly what it was. Like issue 70, it's a None Shall Survive. It's a reprint of like 22, and I think that was the first one I'd ever bought. But no, it was 17. But yeah, because 17 is like it's like an all red cover, and then when they redid it in issue 70, it's colored proper. But yeah, it went from being stale, and then when it popped off again with Cockrum and Claremont, and there's just that was just the whole rebirth, and then it was X-Men and X-Men and Teen Titans were the two biggest titles for a long time there.
Yeah. I got to say something to Bean real quick. Yo, Bean, listen. Yes, I do like Cochran. He's good. He's not bad. But it was Jim Lee who made me get back reading the X-Men again. So he takes some credit, I'm not saying Cochran's bad, but it was Lee who covers Pop so good that I said, holy shit, I had to read this again. I got to get back into it again.
I just thought of two artists who they didn't have big runs on the X-Men, but I enjoyed the work they did on the X-Men, and that was Rick Leonardi and Mark Silvestri. I like both of their work on that.
Oh, I do like Mark Silvestri. Yeah, he's good. He's good.
And the guy who went on to do Excalibur.
Alan Davis?
Yeah. He did some of that Fall of the Mutant stuff. Some of that great Wolverine versus Sabretooth fight, and and Excalibur was a good title, because they were off in England, and you took you got this group of people who were fresh and kind of thrown together, and
led by Nightcrawler. It was awesome.
Yeah, Nightcrawler, Captain Britain.
Captain Britain.
Yeah.
And they actually did a few issues in Uncanny X-Force where they went back and they were there for a while, which is why that's my favorite recent run. Because not just because of Psylocke, because I just fucking love that entire run. And it introduces people to Phantom X, which nobody knows who the fuck he was until that, and he's basically just a French asshole in short.
Nice. Yeah, Bean. I talked about John Byrne and the FF earlier in the show. I totally agree with you there. I'm a huge fan of Byrne's run on Fantastic Four, most definitely.
Although Remender does have a tendency to kill people, like he and like everything he does, one person has to die.
I'm sorry, but Zero, let me ask you a question, brother. How did you feel about it? I seen Sabretooth on the big screen. Yeah, because he was amazing in the comics, and they fucked him up in the movies. They totally did. They totally did.
I didn't mind him in the first X-Men movie. He was
a mindless brute.
He was played by some wrestler.
He was played by Tyler Mane.
Tyler Mane. Yeah,
I thought his look was good in that movie.
Yeah, but he was a mindless brute.
Yeah,
that's not Victor Creed.
That's true. That's what I said. Like I like his look, but if you took what's his name? Lee Schreiber. That played him in the second time. If you took the first look and with that personality, it would have been perfect.
I hear you. I gotta agree with that. Yeah.
Is there something that they didn't fuck up in the movies?
There's only one thing that they got right. Charles Xavier.
Oh, okay.
Actually, wait. Kitty Pryde's in her first time in the movie, when she fights in Juggernaut.
That whole scene was the most ridiculous thing I've ever saw in my life.
I thought they did Kitty Pryde well.
I'm the Juggernaut, bitch. I'm like, really? Come on. How hard are you gonna write that line in? I got a line for the movie.
There's a reason that's the only memorable thing he does, and anyone remembers about that movie is that line.
Yeah, because it absolutely sucks.
I thought it was funny. So, and with that accent too.
I thought they got Charles Xavier right.
But the one they wasted in that movie was Multiple Man. I love when he emerged from the trailer when they're breaking Juggernaut out.
Yeah.
And then you just see Multiple Man and this is like all this version of
like I said, they touched on characters, but they didn't go into any kind of depth, into any kind of storyline, into anything, at all. So.
Oh, and let's not even get how they fuck up my girl twice.
Who?
Psylocke.
It's no backstory. It's no nothing. It's just here. It is. Hi, how you doing? I'm Cyclops. Boom.
What the fuck was she in that?
That's why. Movie? That's why Fox Studios should never ever make another superhero movie for as long as they're in business. They just absolutely suck.
Like, okay? Why was she working with the Morlocks and she's using her shadow powers? Like, why the Crimson Dawn? Sorry, my bad. I'm like, what the fuck?
Hey, you mentioned the Morlocks. Who was the? I used to like the character who had like the eye patch and she was dressed always kind of punk rock.
Yeah.
Callisto.
Yeah. Because I just like the punk rock look, so I was just like, oh, she's cool.
She was ugly too.
Yeah.
She was ugly.
Well, yeah, but still, she looked cool.
But I'm saying, I mean, as far as how many comic book characters, get drawn.
Right.
Everybody looks like a glamazon, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, exactly, she was not. She was ugly. The Morlocks were ugly. Yeah. And that was of course, when
that was part of their charm.
Yeah, I mean, when Storm killed her to become the leader of the Morlocks as well, that was heavy because Storm had she had no power.
That's when she lost her powers. Yeah.
Well, no, but I mean the first time when she killed her was, because they healed Callisto, but It was down there that they had that Morlock who could take away your power temporarily.
Oh, I know you're talking about. Who's the artist on that run, Zeus?
I think it was Paul Smith.
It was Paul Smith, because that was some good stuff.
Yeah,
I love Paul.
Yeah, I can't.
He's nice and minimal.
I have trouble naming the Morlocks off by name because that's true.
There's
Being the same
Caliban,
lead.
and there was like one of them was called Worm, and they had weird ugly names. They were weird ugly characters,
Leech.
which was what was cool
Yeah,
about them.
Leech is the one that takes powers.
Leech.
I believe.
Yeah.
Being the same as Leech. Okay.
And that was and then after that, that's when Storm, that's when she went punk rock and shaved her head with all but the mohawk.
I don't care what anybody says. Mohawk Storm is the shit.
It's badass look. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I think that that John Romita Jr. drew her better than Paul Smith did. Because he was the one that came in after Paul Smith and ran from the 170 late 170s through the early 200s. And that was some of his best stuff. That John Romita Jr. He's gotten, over the last 20, his stuff is not as good as it used to be, in my opinion.
Well, he had that distinctive style. He was good because he always drew Logan good because he drew Patch like awesome, So
it's tough being who the son of John Romita.
Yeah.
I'm sure
That's true.
Not to mention he was the 1983 one and only Marvel Comics Hunk of the Month winner.
It was all downhill from there.
Pretty much.
But that does bring me to a question. What is everyone's, if you could run through them quick, everyone's favorite individual look for your favorite X-Men?
Wow.
Oh shit.
I'll start. My favorite is Age of Apocalypse Psylocke. I love that ninja look. Like, she's got the double psionic blades on her hand, and she's got the face mask.
Well, Archangel looks a million times better than the Angel.
I was gonna say Archangel was badass.
Yeah.
He was badass. I'm gonna have to go with Zeus. I'm gonna have to say Archangel, because he was the most transformed. It looked awesome. Wolverine had basic look, and so did Colossus. Same thing with Cyclops. Everything. It was just a variation of his old costume. Even though I am digging that big X, even though I'm big, even though I'm digging that big X for a helmet that he's wearing now. So, but other than that, nah, I go Archangel too. It was awesome.
You're gonna find a scene with mine. I love Age of Apocalypse Jean Grey, with the red and blue and the black.
Yeah,
I love that look for Jean.
Age of Apocalypse Sabretooth with Wild Child was fun too.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah,
Wild Child on the leash or on the chain.
I do like House of M. House of M Magneto looks hot.
James, you have a fellow Cyclops fan in Bean. Bean, we were all totally shitting on Cyclops except for James. So.
I wasn't.
Okay, not okay.
I like Cyclops too.
Okay, then ZEERO and I are the only ones who dislike Cyclops.
Yeah, fuck
Cyclops.
Cyclops.
Okay, Bean. I want to break it down for you. In the movies, Cyclops absolutely blows. In the comic books, he was the fucking man. Okay, all these guys back here, they're all hating on Cyclops, especially ZEERO. Call him an asshole bitch. Hey, you know what? That may be true now. But Cyclops was the man. Okay, I don't give a fuck what anybody says. All these haters can kiss my entire ass.
But you know what, James? I cannot remember a single time in the comics. All these, up to a point. I stopped reading sometime whenever it was late 90s, but. There's
Sherry.
I can't think of a single time where I went, Cyclops is the man. He never gave off that vibe.
He was the leader of the X-Men.
No,
he had
He was
issues.
the leader, but
he,
he never went.
he was.
went
He had.
the man. No one
Pedro,
cares
Pedro,
about
Cyclops
he had
is a
issues.
whiny
He had
bitch.
issues. He's a whiny little bitch. Yes, fine.
Yes, he is.
Just like your mother, Zero. Okay, but let me tell you something. Okay.
Oh, James, calm down.
But hold on. So hold on. He had issues. He was a character. His character had depth. He was struggling with he he didn't know if he could be the true leader. He was always he was always questioning himself. There was actually depth to his character. It wasn't one dimensional. Yes, he's an asshole, Zero. Yes.
He was able to sort of control Wolverine.
Speaking of one dimensional, James, I'm still trying to climb out of your mama's vagina.
Hey,
Easy killer. Come on, man.
All right, guys.
Come on, man. Your mother's so fat she jumped in the air and got stuck.
I'm gonna have to get the car out.
It's the Zero and James fucking cage match. Here we go.
Wait. Bean said he's about to say this. What are you going to say, Bean? What is it? Tell us. Cyclops. Lead the X-Men.
There you go. Thank you, Bean. Thanks, brother.
Okay, Bean.
Thanks, man. Thanks. Everybody hates on Cyclops. It's all good.
I actually think Storm was a pretty good leader of the X-Men when she.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Just to keep on
absolutely.
Cyclops for a second. Remember, Emma Frost did Cyclops to fuck Namor. Just saying.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's not a tool. Right, Zero? Yes, he's a tool. Everybody knows that. But, hey, at one time, he was an intricate character. He was very insecure of himself. He was very insecure of himself, He had the whole issue with Jane. He had the whole thing with Logan. They had a love-hate relationship with each other. It was a great subplot. That's all I'm saying. Cyclops, the fucking man.
The one of my favorite lines from the movies was when they'd been dealing with Mystique impersonating him, and Cyclops looks at Wolverine. He's like, "How do we know it's you? Okay, you're a dick." I'm like, all right, I believe him.
Yeah. That's again.
Keep your eye open.
That movie Cyclops was absolutely brutal. Well, I mean, Fox is totally they just shat on the character. It was horrible. The movie was horrible. James Marsden, he played him like a piece of cardboard. Okay, it was brutal. It was brutal.
Everyone.
Actually, I didn't think James Marsden was bad as him in the first movie.
Yeah, it's just he was miscast. Zero. He was miscast. It shouldn't have been James Marsden.
It was better.
He screwed up his career by shit. He didn't make a good decision because he ditched X3 to do Superman Returns.
Yeah, and look at that. Even though I don't think it's that bad of a movie. I don't think it's a bad movie, but not as bad as
it's a terrible movie.
I know, Zeus, but it's not as bad as people make it out to be. It could have been a lot worse.
It's terrible.
It could have been Superman 4, The Quest for Peace. It could have been that.
It was worse than that. Look, Superman is not a voyeur. He's not going to leave planet Earth fucking, knowing that there's a good chance that he impregnated Lois Lane.
Yeah,
sorry. No,
I know.
Oh my goodness.
So many basic, huge premises.
I'm now going to just think of Superman like spying on people all the time. Oh my God.
Yeah. I love Wolverine's original costume, but I like the kind of the depending on who was coloring it was either the orange and brown or brown and black, whatever however. Yeah. I like that was for some reason that was my favorite.
I was a fan of the yellow and blue. It was cool.
The original yellow and blue was fine. But,
yeah.
I mean, I think both the original and the orange brown ones are both like about equal to me. I love
his X-Force look, the black and gray. Double,
that's
double-
that. Yeah, essentially same, but different color scheme.
Yeah, the Black Ops look. And
And
again, I
and,
love the look of that entire team though. So.
and also, screw Chris Claremont for not letting John Byrne have Wolverine in X-Men series. I mean, in Alpha Flight.
Yeah. Although he was technically a part of Alpha Flight, I never saw him in any of the comics, to be honest.
Right, and that was
That was Claremont, right?
Which part?
Oh, I didn't get that.
That was Claremont who kept him out of Alpha Flight, right?
Yeah, because he said he can't be in two different stories at once, and
Right.
because Byrne is he wanted to have him take over.
Okay,
after
I got to clear up
Guardian
something.
died.
I'm so sorry, Zeus. I got to clear up something that is bothering me in the chat right now. Between Bean, Double Y, Double H, and Sherry. For the record, yes, Hugh Jackman is a handsome man, but Wolverine in the comics is not 6'2". Okay, he's 5'5". So let's get the record straight.
He's actually 5'3".
He's 5'3", Zero. Thank you. Okay, so
Muggy Bogue's height.
Right, exactly. Okay. Yes. Actually, the original Wolverine in the movies, it was supposed to be Doug Ray Scott. Okay, he was the original Wolverine. He actually filmed scenes, but he was doing Mission Impossible, and they had to scrap his whole thing. So he's too tall to play Wolverine. Yes, he's Hugh Jackman. He looks great. He's saucy. He's sexy. He's all that, but he is not Wolverine. Although he's the face of Wolverine now. That's all I want to say.
It's too bad we never got a singing Wolverine since he can sing.
Actually, we did get one. Yeah. Did you see Hugh Jackman singing that musical? Boom. There you go.
Well, hey, it's been fun. We've had a lot of conversation about X-Men and about people's mothers.
We didn't get to something I was going to ask. I was going to fantasy casting the X-Men in the MCU. Like
This will have to be another.
Yeah, that's got to be part. That's got to be X-Men Part 2.
Yeah, that's a good idea, Zero. Yeah.
I mean, you could just have an episode on fantasy casting, XYZ, not just X-Men, like anything. But
so I'm guaranteeing my return again. That's right, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta find somebody to play Zero's mom, then it would be all right.
I want to thank everyone in the chat.
See, next time we're fantasy casting, that means I gotta fantasy cast James's mom and James's mom's belly button.
Nice. I want to say special shout out.
This is why we don't have you on very often.
The Double Y, Double H, Bean, and Sherry, Saucy Sherry. Thank you for hanging out in the chat. We'll definitely see you in Zero, man. You're always awesome. You're a savage. Love having you here, brother. Good job. Good job.
Always glad to be back.
I want to say Zero and I haven't worked this out yet, but we may have a side project in the future between Zero and I.
Uh-oh.
So watch out for that.
So I got shit in the works there.
But
and I'll be back later this year because I talked to Pedro about something too.
I haven't pitched that to them. I forgot all about that. But
What?
I will pitch that to them. We'll get to that when we get off the air. We'll see y'all next week.
Peace, everybody. Later.
Penis.
Hey.
Oh.